Hello, all of my beautiful and wonderful, amazing friends from the internet. It's so, I'm just ecstatic to be here with y'all again today on this wonderful Tuesday. I hope each and every single one of you is doing amazing and that you are all keeping it real because, honestly, who are if the real, if not for the fake? So live for the real. Anyways, all right. Welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you're watching on Spotify or listening on, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating and also please leave us a review. You can find, if you comment or if you want to reply to this week's episode, you can go on Spotify and click the description of the episode. Below the description, you should see this week's question, and to the right is an icon that says reply, and you can answer this week's question, and you will ultimately be notified when your response is published. And it's a great feature that allows us to have so much more engagement with each other, and I'm so happy that people have been using this feature. So why don't we just hop into the show? So last week's episode was, what is a red flag phrase? Something that someone says, or like a colloquial saying or something like that, that you're just like, I kind of gives it away. You're like, I'm not really going to vibe with that. I don't think we're going to get along very well. So we got a reply last week. This was from McMuffin. Thank you so much for replying, McMuffin. McMuffin says, I'm with someone else, but we're just casual. Odds are, if somebody says that to you, they have no intention of committing to anything. They're kind of just, it's just casual. It's not. I'm not gonna stop seeing them. But I could if I wanted to. But it's just casual. Oh yeah, who's this sort of casual thing with? Like, how did you meet them? It's kind of a silly story. They're my ex. Yeah, but it's so done. It's not even, we're just casual now. It's just so casual. Yeah, it's just, actually, I think they texted me. I think I'm just going to go and I forgot to brush my teeth, actually. I don't even know. I've got to get out of here. Yeah, definitely a red flag phrase if you're looking for a relationship, 100%. Thank you so much for replying, McMuffin, to that comment from last week, or for the question from last week. So why don't we just head into today's episode? So, all right, today's episode comes from the main Ask Reddit page. Again, why were you ashamed of yourself like never before? And I was trying to think of one before the episode started, because I realized, like, I always just jump into these episodes with trying to figure out like something to answer this question for myself, but because I'm like, I have time. I'm the one who's got all the time, right? But I'm sure there's many experiences where I've been ashamed of myself. But I try to be funny, and I think sometimes it just is. You end up saying something terrible and awful, and I don't know why I said this. This was just this is a low point in my entire life. Okay, people, please don't let this action or saying of mine define who you think I am as a person, because I recognize this was so awful. I knew it right after I said it. It was so terrible, and I was like, oh, this was not even close to being funny. But it was someone I used to know, and they got this tattoo, and it was a small tattoo. It was a little silly tattoo. It wasn't like a massive thing. But oh my God, I tried to make a joke and I called it cringe, and they got really upset, understandably so, because they just got this thing that's on them for the rest of their lives, and me and all my fucking intelligence decided to call their tattoo cringe, and they were very upset at me, and I still think that they probably think about that, because that is just an awful, horrible thing to say. And I was trying to make it a joke, and as soon as it left my tongue, I'm like, you're so stupid. Why would you ever say that? It's not even funny. So that was a moment I felt extremely ashamed of myself. And I think I'm always going to think about that moment, because that was a low moment for me. That was bad. That was definitely bad. So we all have shameful moments, folks. So, they're not unique to any particular person. Everyone does shameful things. Actually, before I hop into the episode, I don't want to yap for too long, but one of my favorite comedians had an interesting thing about this when he was on a podcast, and he was saying, like, that's the curse of trying to be funny and like trying to interject humor into your life, is that you're always going to be on the verge of, saying something you probably shouldn't say. And sometimes in order to be funny, we take those risks. And in order to be naturally funny, we do kind of say some things off the cuff when they just come to our minds. But it's a paradox, because then oftentimes you end up just saying horrible things and it's not what you intended and they're not funny. And then if you want to stop doing that altogether, then you're just not going to be a funny or humorous person. It's kind of, sometimes you're going to end up saying, especially if you're trying to be funny, and that's kind of what brings you joy in your life. And some people don't really give a shit about being funny, which I get, but it's kind of a paradox. Sometimes you're going to say the wrong thing and it's not funny and you have to live with that shame. But at other times you can make a great joke and make people laugh. So, because I live for those moments where I can, be in a natural flowing conversation and just, make people laugh. All right, so why don't we hop into today's episode? Why were you ashamed of yourself like never before? First one comes from the Riker Maneuver. When I was a little kid, probably first grade or so, I remember being super mad at my mom for something. That day, I was using a coffee can to trace for circles. I would then use the circles to make faces. Then I would color in the faces. I did them for my dad and my siblings and my teacher. Then I did one for my mom, and when I was showing her, I took a red crayon and drew a big X across her face on the page. I was angry. I don't even remember why, but I will never forget the look on her face. It was like I destroyed her soul. She was just so defeated and sad, not like a play sad, real sadness. Looking back at it with adult eyes, I am sure she was frustrated being a mom of multiple kids on a one-income household, and there is no telling what was going on in her marriage at the time. Plus, that was about the time she lost her father, so I know it was a difficult time in her life, and she didn't need that kind of BS from me. So when I drew that X, I think I actually hurt her in some way. That was almost 40 years ago, and it still makes me ashamed to think about it. It's funny how certain memories from your childhood are burned into your brain, and the rest just disappear. Yeah, that just goes to show you felt that, I don't think that was the high point of your career as an empath, as you're striving to be an empath. But that's the thing, is you're a child. Like, you can only blame kids so much for stuff like that. Kids don't have a larger grasp of the world, you know what I mean? They don't have abstract points of view, but I can imagine as the mom, that's going to feel like a blow. That's going to feel like a blow. It's like, oh, I'm struggling. My dad just died and my kid hates me. Great. But, at the same time, you're a kid, right? Everyone's a kid. Kids make mistakes. That's probably something wait, what did he say? Yeah, first grade. Like, you're 6 years old. Like, that's not going to be, I don't think your mom's going to hold that against you. I don't think she's going to be like, it's like, Mom, we just haven't had a great relationship. Like, what is the deal? It just seems like you're always so, I don't know, you give me the cold shoulder a lot. I don't know, maybe you should have, been more careful about what you did in the first grade. Maybe if you didn't, hate on me in the first grade and draw big X's over my eyes. Is that how you see me forever? You're just going to see me with these, like I'm a big X? Like I'm a big X over my face? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why don't you go back to your first grade and ask yourself? Why don't you go back to first grade and ask yourself back then? Maybe it'll be less of a mystery to you, asshole. I don't think that's going to happen. I think your mom's going to be fine. Next one comes from Z Tug Z. I was never the most patient person, and I despise being late for things. My wife, kids, and I were going for a walk and to hang out at a neighbor's house for the evening. They were taking forever, and my wife kept stalling, and we were going to be late. I yelled at all of them to hurry up and proceeded to be pissed off the whole walk down. Dad? We walked in. It was a surprise party for me. She wasn't delaying because they hadn't finished the decorations yet. Felt like a complete POS. This was 10 years ago, and it still bothers me. Definitely taught me a lesson to be more patient, though. It's like walks in the door, and he's like, every fucking time we're just fucking late for everything. I can't fucking stand it. Fuck. Surprise. Happy birthday. I mean, in the moment, I can feel the frustration. I hate being late for stuff, man. I'm like one of those guys that I want to be in the movie seat like 15 minutes before the movie starts. Because every single time I've walked in on a movie, like after it's already started, I haven't enjoyed myself. I'm just sitting there, even if it's 30 seconds in, because the fact is you just don't know. Like, you don't know. This is why I have a burning passion of hate for Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Because not only was that movie so awful, I think it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was, I honestly, if I could go back, I was hoping there was going to be a redeeming moment, so I stayed. But if I could go back, I would, and also I paid for a movie, I'm going to sit through the whole thing. But if I could go back, I would have left the theater. That movie was fucking awful. It was terrible, okay? Straight up, I was late for that movie, and that gave it away. As soon as I didn't enjoy myself as soon as I saw the first scene happening. I didn't even know it was the first scene. I didn't even know where we were. And then it just ruined and soured the rest of the movie for me, which was already terrible. And yeah, so I don't like being late for stuff. I'm like, I'm just not one of those people that's just like, like, we'll show up late, like, I'm just not like, I don't know. I have maybe it's just, it's not necessarily FOMO, because it's not like when I commit to something, I want to be committed to it, like I want to actually be there and do it. But yeah, not a great look in front of those kids. Reply from Squiggle Pig 52. Friends threw a surprise birthday party for me, and to ensure I didn't walk in too early, they got the kids from upstairs. A bucket filled water balloons and had them chase me around while they got set up. Reply from Mailman006. Yeah, that's actually a good one. You have to distract them with something. You can't just stall and be late, because then people will just get mad. I was mowing the lawn the other day, and I felt something hit me from in the back. Kind of a soft plop. Here was the neighbor's kids throwing water balloons. The next time I came by, I was ready. They chucked a volleyball, and I caught it and nailed their asses. What? Lit them up. Turned into an all-out war with them dragging up 2 full wagons of balloons and me wielding a hose. Not really on the topic, but your comment sparked a memory. Oh, yeah. Okay. Next one comes from Supernova. After my father passed, it hit me how little time I had spent with him. I never get that time back, and if I allow myself to think about it too much, it rips me to shreds. I loved him so much, but I was fresh out of the house and living with my boyfriend and trying to be an adult. My father was battling cancer, and if I could have gone to visit him so many times, but I didn't. If I could go back in time and scream in my own face and sit with him every day, I'd do it in a heartbeat. He deserves so much better. The 25th of June was the 7th anniversary of his death. This time of year, it always hurts extra. Make the time for the people you love. You're not guaranteed, and regret is a potent poison. This is the thing, though, is like, these moments really suck. Like, they can really be awful, like, on you as a person. But at the end of the day, like, regret over these types of situations is not constructive. Like, it's not going to do anything for you, right? It's the moment is past. It's gone. It's the what has already happened. So yeah, we have tons of things in life we regret, but we can't beat ourselves up over stuff like this, because those are the actions we chose to take. We can only learn from that stuff. We can only think about it, reflect on it, and choose to live our lives differently and spread that knowledge. So that your comment is powerful in the sense that it's good that you can comment this and have people, or potentially, spark motivation for people to want to spend more time with their parents in times of struggle and times of need and stuff. And that's what you should be doing, but at the same time, it's definitely not worth it to beat yourself up, because there's more important things to be learned from this experience there's more time to be spent learning important things from this experience than there is time to be spent dwelling on it. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it sucks. Like, but now you know, right? And now this is a lesson you could carry forward with you in the future. And it's always helpful to think of all the inspiring moments that you had with your father, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to fixate on the end days, right? And like, we're all gonna die. It's easy to focus on those days, but it's the time the quality time that we spend with them over our lifetime that really matters, right? But yes, call your parents, call your grandparents, just in case, Next comment comes from Imbatu. When I was 12 or 13, I used to steal money from my grandma. I used to take advantage of the fact that she was old and not very mobile, and to take money from her purse or from an envelope she kept in her wardrobe. Not a huge amount of money, maybe £150 in total, spread across a couple of years. She was the loveliest, kindest person I'd ever met. I never heard her say a bad word about anyone or complain when she was in poor health. The worst part is I think that perhaps she knew but wouldn't have said anything, as she would have wanted to get me in trouble. She wouldn't have wanted me to get in trouble. She passed over 20 years ago, and I was with her when she went. I'm 47 now, but I still think about it often, and I'm so ashamed of it. Oh, yeah. Let's just say that maybe stealing from your grandmother is not the greatest look, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that what you did is not something that people do. We're kids. We don't understand. Especially when it comes to money, even being 12, 13 years old, like all you know is that money is something adults have and you don't. So, and money is something we all want and low-key desperately need. So, stealing is not a great look, though. But I don't think your grandma, again, I don't think your grandma held it against you. I don't think her deathbed words were, I don't want you here. You stole $20. I disown you. I don't think that's how it went down. Reply from Haddock 420. When I was a kid, I stole a $5 or £5 note from my mom's purse, thinking she wouldn't notice. A few hours later, she asked me if I'd taken £5 from her, and I said no. She looked really worried about it. We struggled for money a lot when I was a kid, so £5 was probably a big deal for her to lose. I felt really guilty about it for ages, and a couple of months later, I put £5 back in her purse 2 or 3 times to make up for it. Oh, geez. Yeah, I think you might have just snitched on yourself. Jason, why did you put £10 in my purse? No. You've got £10 in your purse that you didn't have before? Yes, there's £10. Actually, I think it's £15 in my purse that was not there before. We live together. It's only us. Who would have put that money in my purse? You're the only person who would have even had access. I checked my purse an hour ago, and there was the same amount of money. Why did you give me £15? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was, it's July, but summer Christmas, Santa works in mysterious ways, right? Isn't that what they say? Santa Claus, the guy with the beard and the hat and the belly and stuff. It's weird. Yeah, weird. I don't know. I didn't put that there, though. Not a chance. Not a chance. Nope. Definitely not because I stole from you before. No, that could not be it. No. Definitely not. No, not me. Couldn't be me. Congratulations, though. You found 15 pounds in my purse. Yeah, I found 15 pounds in my purse, yeah. Hope you guys like my British accent. Next one comes from Astronomer Empty. When I was 19, I fell for one of those fake check scams. My mom had to help me pay the bank $2,500. I've since paid her back, but I was so ashamed of myself. I have never broken down and sobbed so hard in front of someone. No, the problem with this, honestly, fake check scam, okay, you got scammed, all right? That's just kids being kids. You fell for a scam. It happens, It's just what happens to people. The real culprits are fucking Fortnite and fucking Roblox, because they make kids believe that V-Bucks or whatever or Robux are just like real money. They have just as much value as real money. And so they're scamming these kids, man. Like, I read a story or Fortnite's going through a lawsuit or something because in like Montreal, like their kid spent like tens of thousands of dollars on Fortnite. And they're suing Fortnite because the whole basis of the argument is that Fortnite isn't providing like any sort of tangible service. They're just kind of just taking the money for in-game stuff, and they're saying that just like kids are being misled. They don't. It's distorting how kids see money. They just view it as something that just comes. It's just that this is just there. It's just on a card. It's just unlimited cash that's just on a card, and it's not. No, this is. There's a scarce amount of this. We only have. You spent our life savings. Oh God, and you're 5. Oof. That's not great. Not great. Can't necessarily blame you, but the corporations definitely have responsibility in that. You know what I mean? Making kids think that like it's just, I don't know, it distorts kids' views of money. But yeah, that's when you were 19 though. Well, maybe that's a little bit different, but yeah, 19. I mean, 19, sure. You fell for a fake check scam. Fair enough. But even, I think it works all the way down. Like, and $2,500, yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's not like your entire life savings type of money. Like, it's not like you're going to be in the hole forever. It is possible to make $2,500. Even if it takes a while, it's possible to make it. $20,000, even $10,000, that can really put you back. That can really set you back. Reply from Me Got Shadow Banned. Well, why are you this guy's snitching on himself. He's like, my last IP was shadow banned. Just letting you guys know. I was about the same age when I decided to fuck with one of those fake check scammers. I did decide to deposit the check, which I knew would bounce. I made sure not to spend any of the money that was falsely in my account and thought it would be interesting to see exactly how the process worked. Then Chase canceled my account for depositing a fake check and sent me a check for my legitimate balance. Wasn't expecting that. Somehow, I still got screwed over by the scammer, even though I was trying to fuck with the scammer. Yeah, I think it's probably just a safe bet to just avoid them entirely, no, trust me, man, I'm fucking with the scammer. I gave them all my money, but, like, I know I'm gonna get it back. It's a play. It's a play, man. It's just a ruse, okay? I know it, So what? I changed all my money into their proprietary coin, their proprietary crypto. Like it's all in the plan, okay? It's all in the plan. I'm using this information to expose them. Have you ever watched CoffeeZilla? I'm doing exactly what Coffee does. Well, I don't think Coffee's spending his real money trying to prove that it's a scam. I think he does that in other ways by maybe contacting people who got scammed. I don't think you have to do that yourself. Next one comes from Suvin Pan. A few years back, went to visit my sister. At the time, I reached at her home. I really had to pee, so I was full and I was walking funny. My sister, her husband, and his mother came to greet me at the door. I said I need to use the bathroom immediately, and we all entered the house. Just then, my little niece rushed, oh no, inside and hugged me. Her head hit my lower abdomen really hard, and I peed right there. I did stop as quickly as possible, but I had a big, wet patch on my pants. Oh, that's so awful. Oh, God. Oh, I'm peeing all over myself. That would have been so awkward for the little niece. Like, she puts her head right on his pants, and then it's just, she takes her head away, and it just smells like piss and is wet, and she's like, did you just pee on me? It wasn't, I didn't mean to, I had a big gulp in the, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's, I don't necessarily, you don't have to be ashamed of that, though. Everybody pees their pants. I'm peeing my pants right now. Everybody pisses their pants. Don't have to worry about it. It's all good, man. I'm still pissing my pants as we're talking about it. So, yep. But yeah, that's, you don't have to be ashamed of that. That's an embarrassing moment for sure, though. That's up there. That's definitely up there. I would have to say, though, if we're going to put our stories next to each other, my story about telling someone their tattoo was cringe and you peeing your pants, I think mine might be a little bit more, worthy of shame than yours. Unless, peeing in your family is like a big deal, It's like, how many times have we said this? You can shit your pants. But if you piss in your pants, please tell me that's shit. Please tell me you shit the front of your pants. It's piss. Are you serious right now? Are you fucking serious? What did I say about pissing your pants in this house? I'm not gonna, I just won't. Get out. I'm sorry, but Jonathan, I'm never talking to you again. Oh, this is over. This is the last straw. No more pissing. No more pissing for you. Next one comes from Fragile the. My grandmother was my favorite person in the world. Since I was a baby, she sent one real pearl at Christmas. Oh, wow. When I was in my early 20s, she made them into a real pearl necklace. Wow. She passed away not too long after that. A few years later, I went to a school competition and lost that necklace. I still feel physically ill when I think about it. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's really, really tough. Gooseway replies and says, I can only imagine how much that hurts. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Spend some time thinking about how she would react if you were able to tell her. Maybe walk through the conversation in your mind. I doubt she would be angry. She wouldn't love you any less. Your relationship wasn't about pearls. Yeah, this is exactly right. Like, it's not like she's going to be like, it's not like she's going to be like, you lost the pearl. You lost those pearls. The pearls that I spent all those years collecting for you. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just stop talking about it. Yeah, it's the pearls, like, what is it, It's only that I spent so long collecting those pearls, it's just, yeah, whatever, you lost it, It's no big deal. Like everything to you is never a big deal. No, nothing's a big deal to you. You don't ever really deal anything with nothing serious. Everything's just fucking chill. No, I don't think she would. I don't think she would base your relationship on pearls. I don't think it's losing pearls equals you are not my granddaughter anymore or grandson. I actually don't know. Next one, because I want pearls too, not gonna lie. Next one comes from Losuthus was taken. Back in elementary school, my class, including me, I won't play the victim here, made fun of a nice teacher so much that he started crying. I've never felt so ashamed of myself until that moment. I still feel like shit up until this day. I've never seen him again after elementary school, so I never had the chance to say sorry. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Replies and says, when I was a teacher in middle school, we had a computer science teacher that was extremely overweight and would do her makeup like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. I don't know what that is. She would come in every day with a 7-Up big gulp cup. This poor lady was literally tormented by our class. Kids would spam the printer. Oh my God, this is awful. Oh God. Kids would spam the printer with fat lard and pictures of big gulps and stuff. One day, someone found her wedding photo online. This was like 2003-ish, and MS painted a bunch of stuff on the picture and then made every single computer background this photo. She had a total breakdown and ran out of the classroom, and we never saw her again. I still think about that poor woman and how terrible we treated her. What's even worse is that no other... Oh, really? This has to get worse? What's even worse is that no other principal, guidance counselor who ever talked to us about how messed up the entire situation was. No one ever got in trouble. If given the chance, I would absolutely apologize. Yeah, that's pretty awful. Substitute teachers on that teacher salary, on the substitute teacher salary, just why don't we just make their lives even worse? That's the mindset of a lot of kids. That's the kid mindset. Yeah, the substitute teachers always get the brunt of it. Teachers in general, it's like, yeah, these people who are some of the most valuable people in our society, why don't we pay them next to nothing to watch over our snotty little kids every single day? And why don't we also just kind of provide them with zero support for being, just basically verbally assaulted on a daily basis? Yeah, that sounds great for society. That just sounds like how are teachers viewed any differently than lawyers or doctors or literally anything, like any position of prominence? Like city councilors get more respect than teachers. Like teachers are always like, one of the funniest things is, please check this this video that's cringe from Cody Ko and Noel Miller, where they do the Jake Paul thing and he's like making fun of teachers. And in essence, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's this funny video, Cody Ko, just look up Cody Ko, Jake Paul, teachers, that's cringe on YouTube, and you'll watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyways, Jake Paul like made this music video, made this song about like how teachers are so whack, and it's just like, yeah, are these the people who really should be deserving hate in the world right now? Like, do you really need to be making a terrible rap song about how bad teachers are? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot worse people out there in the world right now. Just gonna go and spitball that. I think if I had to go down to the wire on this one, I think there's a couple more people, or professions, that are ahead of, worse professions in the world. That's teachers, I'd say, is actually pretty far down on that list. I think it's probably on the opposite side of the list. Maybe owner of a giant, massive corporation. It's a little bit worse than that. Maybe those are the people we should be targeting a little bit. Next one comes from Shipif. When I was 17, I drove home from a friend's house one evening and parked in our attached garage. I had not been drinking, but being a bit of a scatterbrain, I forgot the keys in the ignition and the car was on. Oh my God. It ran all night, pumping carbon monoxide into the house where I lived alone with my mom. In the morning, my mom woke me up in a frenzy saying we had to get out of the house. She'd been looking forward to a breakfast with her friends, but we had to have one of them drive us to the hospital instead. We had to be put on oxygen. My mom, for much longer than I because her bedroom was closer to the garage, so she inhaled more carbon monoxide. Nurses asked me if it was a suicide attempt, and when I insisted it wasn't, they didn't believe me. The look in their eyes as they saw me and thought I tried to murder-suicide my mom still haunts me. I was so ashamed and wished I could actually kill myself for being so stupid. Well, don't wish that you could do that, and if that's a joke, not very funny. But, that's a tough one. How do you... It's like, I wasn't drunk. I was just on a shit ton of other drugs. I was just on Xanax. I was on Molly. I was popping perks. It was crazy, man. No booze, though, so... Why did I don't know. No idea why I forgot the keys in the car. No, but for real, though. How do you forget the key? How do you forget to turn off your car, man? How did you get inside? Like, you just parked in there and then you just got out? Like, that's like taking a shit and not wiping your ass. Like, that's just like, you just got up? You just got up and left? Like, what? I'm so confused. Why? How does that even make any sense at all? I don't think I've ever done that. I need the keys. How do I get into my house? Like, oh my God. That's just too many questions there. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I'm so happy that y'all decided to spend another beautiful Tuesday whenever you happen to be listening to this, whether that be morning, evening, or night. So again, this is the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/AskReddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. I will see y'all next week. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also remember to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts. And remember on Spotify to answer this week's question, and I will read it out next week aloud on next week's following episode. Thank you all so much. I will see you. Peace out. Goodbye.